One of the things that gets overlooked many times and taken for granted is the tilt trim hydraulic system on our outboard motors. They need to be routinely maintained, and sometimes, like in my case, I've neglected the maintenance that's way overdue. It only takes a short amount of time, but it's something that we want to make sure we take care of. So I'm going to go over that today. So on the hydraulic system on these Hondas, especially on the larger Hondas, let's go ahead and talk about what the various components are. Now on the larger, heavier motors, the ram system is built up of, or the trim tilt system is built up of multiple rams. This main ram is for our trailer mode, as they call it. So this is what extends it into the trailering position. The two smaller rams are what's used in the trim mode. So when you're underway and you want to trim the motor to get the best ride, these rams are the ones that are involved in that. There's also another sensor up here. This is the trim sensor, position sensor. So if you have a NEMA 2000 network and you want to provide that information on what your tilt position is, it's reading that from this sensor. That's what that is. Here's the pump, that's right here. And then here is our fluid reservoir. Now some things when checking, what we're gonna check today that are overdue is at the top of this ram post, there is a pin in here that needs to be removed and lubricated with some marine grade grease. And that's because it eventually will dry out in here, and you want to maintain that that lubrication. Otherwise it'll be making squealing and all sorts of noises, right? And additionally, we don't want the wear and tear. So you've got a pin here that we're going to have to maintain or do some maintenance on. Secondly, we want to check the hydraulic fluid levels, and that is in this reservoir with this cap. Now you need to check your manufacturer, but the way it works with Honda is it fills to the bottom of this. We don't want it so it's spewing out. If it's spewing out, you're overfilling it. If it's down at the bottom, that's good. The other thing to be aware of is that we do have this safety lock. This safety lock's here for maintenance. It's not really designed for trailering, although people do use it for trailering. That's not what the intent is from the manufacturer. The intent is here when you're servicing this so that the engine stays in the upright position, takes the pressure off of this. The other thing to be aware of is whenever you check your fluid levels, your hydraulic fluid levels, this ram needs to be in the fully extended position. Otherwise, this will kick out fluid, okay? So always make sure you're in that upper position. Now, what's used on the Hondas, this is just a Dextron ATF, tranny fluid. That's what the manufacturer specifies. If you have a different make and model, of course, you'll want to check your manufacturer, but generally it's going to be some sort of ATF, some flavor, generally speaking. But you're going to have to, again, check your manufacturer and see what their recommendations or what their specifications are. Now, as far as grease, marine grade grease, I usually use this Quicksilver 24C. This stuff is great stuff. Most of the marine shops have this, and it works really well for this application. Or you could use another one that's spec'd by your manufacturer, but most of them all have many of the same active ingredients here as far as being some sort of lithium-based grease. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is check our fluid levels. We have our ram fully extended. We're going to use our screwdriver to break this free. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And the thing is, use a good screwdriver because you don't want to booger up this plastic. This is a plastic cap. So we spin that free. We can open this up. Now, what you'll notice is that there is an O-ring in here. So you want to inspect that. That doesn't look bad. And we can get in here and look for our fluid. And it looks like it's a little bit low. So we'll just top it off. What I'm going to use is a little makeshift thing here. I've got a straw, because you need something very small to get in here. Straw. And I've got this shoved into this small little funnel. And as you can see, we have some fluid in there. So it's fairly close to full. Actually, I don't even think I really need to add much now that I look at this. Let's get her a towel. Yeah, it's pretty full. Okay, so that's good. Well, that indicates we haven't got a leak, and it's near the top, so we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on, and then we can continue looking at doing the maintenance on our rams, specifically the pins, the pivot pins. Okay, so for this maintenance piece, working on lubricating these ram pivots, or these pins, I'm going to use our safety, our engine support safety here, and stand, and put pressure on that, just light pressure. And yeah, idea there is to take the pressure off this pin so it'll make it easier to pop that off. So let's remove this C-clip. Now you got to be careful when you remove these because they can have a tendency of flying off into the netherland here. So pop this off. Okay, set that aside. Actually, I'm going to set it over here so I don't lose it. All right. Sometimes a punch is helpful here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that and tap, 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 tap. Now, one thing I'm going to do is, there can be a tendency of this ram to want to fall. So I'm going to leave this in here for protection, okay? So I'm going to top this. There we go. All right. So see how it may want to fall. So I stick this in here to hold that. Very good. Okay, and so we can see this baby is really dry. Not a problem. We have this wonderful 2,4-C marine grease. And again, if you want to use one of the other manufacturers, multi-purpose marine grease, by all means, do it. Now, let's put this pin back in. Go. All right, beautiful. And then let's put our C-clip back in. Here's the C-clip. There we go. We can rotate around, make sure that baby's in there good. Okay, very good. So we got this top one done. Now the other thing this is a good time to do this, is you have all of these different Zerk fittings. So you got Zerks here, any of the steering components. There's a Zerk here with this whole swivel post right back up in here. This is a great time to hit all of them. And you should be doing that anyway as part of your annual maintenance. And in the salt environment, you really need to be doing it more than once a year on your annuals, following the manufacturer's schedules. So hopefully that was helpful. And as you'll see, after greasing that, a lot quieter. That's good. That's what we want. So hopefully this video is helpful, and hopefully it's also an encouragement to get out there and do this maintenance on your motors. Take care now.